For many of us, we find joy in recommending good bargains and places with good food to others. We delight in sharing because we want our friends to enjoy what we have personally experienced. Like a good experience, good news is meant to be shared. 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 9 says, "Then they say to each other, 'What we are doing is not right. This is a day of good news, and we are keeping it to ourselves. If we wait until daylight, punishment will overtake us. Let us go once and report this to the royal palace.'" This conversation took place among the 4 lepers in the days of Elisha. Samaria was under siege by the Arameans. To make matters worse, there was a great famine that devastated the land. The people were so desperate that they were even eating their own children. The 4 lepers found themselves in a tricky situation. If they remained in the city, they would die because of the famine. If they surrendered themselves to the Arameans, they could be killed too. But there was a chance that the enemy could spare their lives. They decided to take the chance by surrendering themselves at the enemy's camp. To their surprise, they discovered that the enemy had abandoned the campsite along with their provisions. As they filled themselves and enjoyed the spoils, their thoughts turned to their dying countrymen, and they decided to share the good news with them. Before we had a personal relationship with Christ, we were condemned to die, and there was no way of saving ourselves. God, in His mercy and grace, had sent someone to share with us the good news of salvation. Many people are hungry for God and are perishing from a lack of spiritual nourishment. As in the case of the lepers, God can use the most unlikely people, including us, to share the good news with those who need it. We should therefore not keep the good news to ourselves. God has placed each one of us in our relational networks to reach out to them. The lepers did not do anything to deserve deliverance. God did all the work prior to their arrival at the scene. We, too, have not done anything to deserve salvation. God, in His grace and mercy, has made a way for us to be reconciled to Himself through Christ's death on the cross. That is the heart of the good news. May we respond with gladness of heart and a greater urgency to share the good news. Life is short. Live purposefully. Live without regrets.